Memories are supposed to be reliable, fragments of our past we can trust. Yet what if your recollections are wrong? What if entire swaths of history, stories you've held as truth, have been quietly rewritten in your mind? Across the world, countless people insist they remember events, brands, and even famous quotes differently. Not as individuals misremembering, but as entire communities recalling something that never happened. The Berenstain Bears, Nelson Mandela's death, the famous words of a galaxy far, far away. What you think you know may be an illusion. These moments are collectively known as the Mandela Effect, a phenomenon that challenges everything we believe about memory, reality, and perception. Tonight, we explore the mysteries behind the Mandela Effect, the false memories that unite millions, the science attempting to explain them, and the unsettling question that lingers. How much of what you remember is real? Memory is not a perfect recording. It is a shadow, a reconstruction, a story we tell ourselves over and over until we believe it. Sometimes that story diverges from reality in ways that defy explanation. This is the essence of the Mandela Effect, a phenomenon where countless people remember events, names, or images in ways that are demonstrably false. The term was coined in 2009 by Fiona Broom, who discovered a strange collective memory. Many people recalled Nelson Mandela dying in prison during the 1980s, yet history shows he passed away decades later in 2013. How could so many be wrong? Was it simply a shared mistake, or something far stranger? Examples abound. Some insist it's the Berenstain Bears, not Berenstain. Movie lines are remembered incorrectly. Darth Vader never said, "Luke, I am your father." Logos and brand names twist subtly in our minds, leaving millions in quiet disbelief. Scientists attribute these discrepancies to the fallibility of memory. Our brains reconstruct events, filling gaps with assumptions, cultural reinforcement, and imagination. False memories are natural, but when the error is shared across thousands, even millions, it becomes unsettling. The Mandela Effect stretches beyond psychology, touching perception, reality, and the fragile line between what we think we know and what actually exists. It forces a disquieting question: how much of our reality is certain, and how much is shared illusion of the mind? Some instances of the Mandela Effect are small, almost playful. Others are unsettling, leaving a lingering sense that reality itself is bending around us. One of the most striking examples involves the beloved children's book series. Many insist it was spelled Berenstain Bears, yet every published copy reads Berenstain Bears. Countless people remember the former with vivid clarity. Childhood memories of reading, television specials, and merchandise all seem to point to a reality that never existed. Film and pop culture provide equally eerie examples. "Luke, I am your father" is one of the most quoted lines in cinema, but the actual words spoken by Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back are "No, I am your father." Millions recall the wrong version with such certainty that debates erupt online and in classrooms alike. Logos, brands, and product designs shift in memory too. The Monopoly man never wore a monocle, and the Kit Kat logo lacks a dash for some, though it has never included one. Even global events are not immune. Some remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, a collective memory that never aligned with reality. Other historical errors involve major events, geographic shifts, and political outcomes. Each misremembered fact raises an unsettling question. How could so many be wrong in exactly the same way? Psychologists explain some of these anomalies as confabulation, confirmation bias, or the malleable nature of human memory. Yet these explanations cannot fully account for the sheer scale of shared misperception. When thousands or millions remember the same false detail, it hints at something more, a subtle fracture between perception and reality. A moment where the world we think we inhabit diverges from the one that actually exists. These chilling examples do more than confuse, they unsettle. They leave us wondering if memory is simply flawed, or if the universe itself is playing tricks on our minds. The familiar becomes unfamiliar, the certain, uncertain, and reality, untrustworthy. The Mandela Effect does more than challenge memory. It shakes the very foundation of what we believe to be real. Scholars, psychologists, and theorists have proposed explanations, yet no single theory fully accounts for the phenomenon. Some point to the fragility of human memory itself. False memories, misattribution, and the brain's tendency to fill gaps with plausible details can create shared illusions. Cognitive biases, like confirmation bias, amplify this effect, causing groups to reinforce one another's recollections until the memory feels indisputable. Other theories venture into darker, more unsettling territory. Quantum physics and multiverse speculation suggest that discrepancies in memory could be evidence of parallel realities brushing against our own. Fragments of alternate histories bleeding into perception. Could we be glimpsing a world that exists alongside our own, momentarily overlapping before reality snaps back? These ideas sound like science fiction, but the eerie consistency of some misremembered events has left even skeptics questioning whether something more profound is at play. Cultural influence also plays a role. Viral videos, social media discussions, and the proliferation of memes can cement inaccurate memories, spreading errors across continents with astonishing speed. Yet even when isolated from media influence, some Mandela Effect examples persist, reported by individuals with no connection to each other, a shared hallucination, or something stranger. For those who experience it firsthand, the Mandela Effect can feel deeply personal. The certainty of a memory colliding with undeniable evidence to the contrary leaves a chilling impression. If something as seemingly simple as a childhood book or film line can be wrong in ways millions remember as true, what else in our reality might be malleable, unstable, or untrustworthy? The phenomenon is a mirror, reflecting both the limits of human cognition and the possible fragility of the world around us. The Mandela Effect isn't always trivial. Some examples carry a disquieting weight, hinting at the fragility of reality itself. Many recall Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s, an event that never happened. Yet millions remember it vividly, complete with imagined news reports and public reactions. This false memory alone has shaken confidence in shared history, leaving people to question what else might be wrong or hidden. Other examples border on the sinister. Iconic lines from movies appear to have shifted. Some insist Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father," while the original line lacks the Luke. Classic children's books seem altered, with entire words missing or subtly changed. Even logos and historical events appear to differ from collective memory, suggesting that what we believe we know may not be fixed. Some theorists propose that these inconsistencies are not just cognitive errors, but glimpses into alternate realities, parallel timelines intruding upon our own. If true, these memory anomalies could be proof that the world is far stranger and darker than we realize. A place where facts and events are not universal, but negotiable, slipping into shadows between dimensions. Even technology and geography are affected. People swear continents are in one place, yet maps tell a different story. Logos and brands appear altered, and historical details shift subtly, enough to create a pervasive unease. Those who notice these changes often report a creeping doubt, a sense that reality itself is mutable, as if history were being quietly rewritten without explanation. Whether caused by memory, coincidence, or something beyond human comprehension, the Mandela Effect forces a chilling question. If something as familiar as a childhood memory can betray us, what else might we accept as real that is in fact an illusion? The Mandela Effect isn't just an odd curiosity. It's a mirror held up to the fragility of human perception. Each example, from the misremembered death of Nelson Mandela to subtle shifts in logos or geography, challenges the very notion that our memories are reliable. What we once believed to be permanent and factual can suddenly feel like smoke slipping through our fingers, leaving a quiet, unsettling doubt. Researchers studying these phenomena have proposed explanations ranging from collective false memories to neurological quirks. Yet no single theory fully accounts for the scale or consistency of these experiences. Across the globe, people report the same discrepancies, often with startling precision. Shared memories clash with documented reality, creating a tension between perception and truth that few can comfortably ignore. For some, the Mandela Effect becomes profoundly disorienting, prompting existential questions. If our memories can betray us, if reality can shift without warning, how much of what we accept as true is genuinely immutable? Are these changes simple errors, or are they glimpses into alternate timelines, subtle alterations of history that brush against our consciousness. The phenomenon forces a broader reflection on human experience. It reminds us that reality is not always fixed, that memory is fallible, and that certainty is often an illusion. Each instance of discrepancy is a small reminder that the world may be far stranger and darker than it seems. We peer into the unsettling spaces where memory and reality collide, where what we think we know can betray us, and where the ordinary may conceal the extraordinary. So tonight, we ask, how much of your world is truly yours? And how much has already slipped beyond comprehension? The Mandela Effect lingers in our minds because it forces us to confront the limits of perception. What feels real, what we remember with certainty, can shift beneath our feet, leaving a trail of doubt and curiosity. From misremembered historical events to subtle changes in the world around us. These moments of dissonance remind us that memory is fallible, reality is fragile, and our understanding of the universe is never complete. Some dismiss it as coincidence, others as simple human error. But the consistency, the shared experiences, and the profound questions it raises cannot be ignored. The phenomenon challenges us to look closer, think deeper, and question what we take for granted. If you felt the unease and intrigue of this story, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more journeys into the unknown. And as always, don't forget to look beyond the fog.